I should be very, very grateful to you, said Anna. But won't you dine with us? Vronsky gave a hardly perceptible shrug. He was at a complete loss to understand what Anna was about. What had she brought the old Princess Oblonskaya home for? What had she made Tushkevich stay to dinner for? And, most amazing of all, why was she sending him for a box? Could she possibly think in her position of going to Patty's benefit, where all the circle of her acquaintances would be? He looked at her with serious eyes, but she responded with that defiant, half-mirthful, half-desperate look, the meaning of which he could not comprehend. At dinner Anna was in aggressively high spirits. She almost flirted both with Tushkevich and with Yashvin. When they got up from dinner and Tushkevich had gone to get a box at the opera, Yashvin went to smoke, and Vronsky went down with him to his own rooms. After sitting there for some time he ran upstairs. Anna was already dressed in a low-necked gown of light silk and velvet that she had made in Paris, and with costly white lace on her head, framing her face, and particularly becoming, showing up her dazzling beauty. Are you really going to the theater? He said, trying not to look at her. Why do you ask with such alarm? She said, wounded again at his not looking at her. Why shouldn't I go? She appeared not to understand the motive of his words. Oh, of course, there's no reason whatever, he said, frowning. That's just what I say, she said, willfully refusing to see the irony of his tone, and quietly turning back her long, perfumed glove. Anna, for God's sake. What is the matter with you? He said, appealing to her exactly as once her husband had done. I don't understand what you are asking. You know that it's out of the question to go. Why so? I'm not going alone. Princess Varvara has gone to dress. She is going with me. He shrugged his shoulders with an air of perplexity and despair. But do you mean to say you don't know? He began. But I don't care to know. She almost shrieked. I don't care too. Do I regret what I have done? No, no, no. If it were all to do again from the beginning, it would be the same. For us, for you and for me, there is only one thing that matters, whether we love each other. Other people we need not consider. Why are we living here apart and not seeing each other? Why can't I go? I love you, and I don't care for anything, she said in Russian, glancing at him with a peculiar gleam in her eyes that he could not understand. If you have not changed to me, why don't you look at me? He looked at her. He saw all the beauty of her face in full dress, always so becoming to her. But now her beauty and elegance were just what irritated him. My feeling cannot change, you know, but I beg you, I entreat you, he said again in French, with a note of tender supplication in his voice, but with coldness in his eyes. She did not hear his words, but she saw the coldness of his eyes, and answered with irritation. And I beg you to explain why I should not go. Because it might cause you, he hesitated. I don't understand. Yashvin _n'est pas compromettant _ and Princess Varvara is no worse than others. Oh, here she is. Chapter 33. Vronsky for the first time experienced a feeling of anger against Anna, almost a hatred for her willfully refusing to understand her own position. This feeling was aggravated by his being unable to tell her plainly the cause of his anger. If he had told her directly what he was thinking, he would have said, "In that dress, with a princess only too well known to everyone, to show yourself at the theater is equivalent not merely to acknowledging your position as a fallen woman, but is flinging down a challenge to society, that is to say, cutting yourself off from it forever." He could not say that to her. But how can she fail to see it, and what is going on in her? He said to himself. He felt at the same time that his respect for her was diminished while his sense of her beauty was intensified. He went back scowling to his rooms, and sitting down beside Yashvin, who, with his long legs stretched out on a chair, was drinking brandy and seltzer water, he ordered a glass of the same for himself. You were talking of Lankovsky's powerful. That's a fine horse, and I would advise you to buy him, said Yashvin, glancing at his comrade's gloomy face. His hindquarters aren't quite first-rate, but the legs and head one couldn't wish for anything better. I think I will take him, answered Vronsky. Their conversation about horses interested him, but he did not for an instant forget Anna, and could not help listening to the sound of steps in the corridor and looking at the clock on the chimney piece. Anna Arkadyevna gave orders to announce that she has gone to the theater. Yashvin, tipping another glass of brandy into the bubbling water, drank it and got up, buttoning his coat. "Well, let's go," he said, faintly smiling under his mustache, and showing by this smile that he knew the cause of Vronsky's gloominess, and did not attach any significance to it. "I'm not going," Vronsky answered gloomily.